I want to welcome everyone for being here. My name is Jules Sant. I am the Executive Director of Two Sides North America. And with me is Jill Crossley, Operations Director of Two Sides. And again, we are in the Pacific Northwest and serving the greater United States and Canadian markets in print, paper-based packaging. And we believe that we all have a great sustainability story to tell. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. If you're a member of Two Sides, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not a member, we're excited to have you with us. Look forward to hearing what your questions, your thoughts are, and hopefully having you join our community. A couple of housekeeping things once again. If you want to chat with us, there's a chat function at the bottom. Send us a note, say hi. I see a lot of friends on the call, so welcome. There is a Q&A function at the bottom as well. If you have a question, we'll address those at the end of our presentation. So today is United for Sustainability. We want to help you amplify your impact with Two Sides. So who is Two Sides? Two Sides is a global nonprofit member-funded organization. You can see from the map, we have partners, and some of them are on our call today, all across the globe that are doing the same type of work that we do here in North America. Collectively, there are over 600 members, member organizations around the globe. That includes paper manufacturers, distributors, print, packaging companies, mailing companies. We have universities, we have associations, we have OEMs, we have people across the supply chain that are members of Two Sides and believe in the work that we do. What is our mission? Our mission is to advocate for print and paper products. We eliminate the misleading, unsubstantiated environmental claims that you might see in your emails, in some of your statements, some of the marketing that is associated with brands, organizations around. And in doing so, we want to promote the sustainability of the paper industry and all the products that are created because of what we do. So the work that we do is, again, we advocate for the sustainability of the paper industry, everyone across that supply chain, and the products to corporations, businesses, and consumers that we serve. We conduct and distribute research and educational materials that all of our members have access to, can co-brand, can utilize to reinforce their sustainability statements. We challenge corporate greenwashing. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're the only organization that goes after those claims and asks those to be changed. And we develop webinar content and present at industry events live, virtually. We're here to help spread the good news about paper, print, and paper-based packaging. So why do we do this work? Well, we do it because consumer perception in the marketplace has some of the wrong information when they go about making choices on their consumption of paper-based products, services, packaging, and the like.
So I'm going to dive into consumer perceptions here. As Jules mentioned, it's really critical for us to understand how consumers respond to the use of paper, and we want to make sure that we're tracking the messaging and the information that we share with what is out there, and how do we combat any kind of perceptions that are incorrect in the marketplace. One of the ways we do that is through every 2 years, we conduct research to understand how consumers feel about paper and paper-based packaging. And we want to understand how misinformation influences their decisions. And so in partnership with Taluna and our global organization and mothership in the UK, we work to generate a survey that goes out to consumers that tells us how they feel about paper products and kind of how it compares every 2 years to see if we're making progress. Are we slipping? Do we need to change our messaging? Where are we improving? Those kinds of things. And again, this information is available to our members in its summary form, and also the raw data from the research that we do. So it's valuable tools to understand how to tailor your sustainability messaging. We're currently working on the 2025 survey, so hopefully after the first of the year, we'll have new information available that we can share with our members as well. So, we're going to dive into a few of these consumer perceptions. This slide has a lot of information on it, but we'll kind of dive into a couple of them. And what we've seen is that the gap has narrowed slightly, very incrementally over the last 2 years. So, for example, this past research we did, 44% think paper and packaging are bad for the environment, whereas in 2021 it was 48%. So we're seeing that incremental improvement in the numbers. 12% of consumers think that more than 60% of paper and paper-based packaging gets recycled, and that was 11% 2 years ago. So we're seeing these small gains in consumer perceptions, but there is a huge opportunity to educate and provide awareness and information to our industry, to share out to their customers, as well as consumers on the whole. So what we're going to do is dive into just a couple of these myths. And this information is available on our website. We have a plethora of facts available. We just want to kind of pick a couple of facts that we feel are kind of come to the forefront when we're talking about paper and paper-based packaging and the sustainability of our industry. So in this example, one of the biggest myths that we see is that consumers think that forests are shrinking and reducing in size. And if we take that myth that the production and use of paper-based packaging causes deforestation, we want to make sure we provide the right information to help combat that myth. And in this case, keep in mind that deforestation is the permanent removal of forest land. And we think that's a really important thing to consider when you're communicating to people, your customers, people in the marketplace, is that deforestation is kind of this term that people use. They don't really understand what deforestation means. So if we bust that myth with the facts, in reality, North American forests are a renewable resource and are not shrinking. So if we look at data that we have, we see that U.S. forests are actually growing in size. And I'm looking forward to, I believe, the Department of Agriculture puts out data every 5 years. So 2025, hoping we have some new data to be able to compare to. In Canada, we see that forest size is staying consistent. So the paper and forest industry is in the business of reforestation, and trees are purposefully grown to continue the life cycle. So this is versus deforestation, which is the permanent removal of trees for uses such as agriculture or urban development, transportation, mining, things like that. So, our industry is looking at perpetuating the availability of forest land to be able to use. And one of the benefits of having products available that use forest land is that it gives forest owners a reason to keep their forest lands forested. So we want to give them that financial incentive that says, okay, these trees are valuable, we want you to replant them. And so I think making sure consumers are aware that paper really has a circular life cycle, and we want to make sure that we're continue to reforest these lands in North America. So Another fact that we're going to dive into is that, you know, consumers think paper and paper-based packaging are a major cause of greenhouse gas emissions. And we want to bust this myth because we see it all the time that, you know, go green, go paperless, electronic communications is greener than print on paper. And really that is another perception that we want to combat. And how we do that, the information that we have to do that, sorry, is with the facts that electronic communication, while it is critical in our lives, we need our phones, we need our computers. We're not advocating that we get rid of these devices. We just want to make sure that people understand that this is not an invisible industry. Just because we don't see it, we have to you know, explain that there is an environmental impact to utilizing electronic devices. And, you know, with the average American household having 10 devices or more, most of them are connected to the internet. Electricity consumption is a major concern for data centers. And with the addition of AI and cryptocurrency, that level of energy use is increasing. There was a study that I looked at from the International Energy Agency in 2023. They project that electricity consumption from data centers is could double by 2026. And this demand is roughly the equivalent to the electricity consumption of Japan. So we're not, this is not an invisible industry that doesn't have an impact. We want to make sure that between raw materials that are not renewable, energy use, and waste disposal, which is another critical issue. How many times do we go through our phones each year, every 2 years? There is a cost with all of that. And so we want to make sure that people consider that there is a real environmental cost in using electronic communication. And so these are a couple of facts that we chose we have a short period of time for this call today, and we wanted to really hone in on some of the big ones, but we do have other facts on water use, on energy consumption, on recycling, on greenhouse gas emissions, on consumer preferences, you know, choosing paper over reading on your phone, things like that that are available on our website, and really kind of explain that paper already has a circular lifestyle and really support that message. So this leads us to another aspect of the work, and that's to combat greenwashing. So part of this is that we see out there in the marketplace that companies are telling us to go green, go paperless. And so one of our charters for our organization is really to combat these greenwashing claims. And greenwashing is defined as disinformation disseminated by an organization to present an environmentally responsible public image. And so the challenge with greenwashing claims is there's usually not any data to back up those claims. So what we're doing is we're asking companies to be more transparent in the claims that they're making with regard to paper and the sustainability of paper products. So why is this important to us? In a study done in 2022, we found that 65% of those who have seen greenwashing claims say these messages influence them to switch from paper to electronic communications. So there is a real impact of greenwashing that is goes to the consumer and influences their decision-making process. So and more as consumers are factoring environmental impacts into their purchasing decisions, you know, we want to make sure that those long-standing myths, media sources, pop culture information is combated with actual factual information in the marketplace. So we continue to invest in our efforts to educate consumers, to educate businesses about the paper industry's role in creating this circular economy. So some results from our anti-greenwashing campaign. We have over 30 claims that have been submitted to us this year that are active, and some wins, some are still pending. These are large companies, Fortune 500 companies, small utilities, banks, insurance companies. So across the board, we're making sure that we receive those claims and have letter writing campaigns to educate those companies about their messaging. Overall, we've had nearly 200 North American companies remove greenwashing claims and over 1,100 globally. So this represents billions of misleading environmental messages. And so that is why we feel this work is really critical to continue to educate those companies and the consumers about greenwashing. The reason it's really critical to our industry, this has a huge financial impact. We all see it every day with declining print numbers and people switching from from paper to electronic. And so we've done some rough estimations about what the financial impact of greenwashing can have, and considering paper use, the value of the print, the postage costs, which are increasing. This has over $300 million impact on our industry. And this is just a rough estimation based on, assumptions made about the amount of pieces mailed. But this gives us an idea of the scale of the problem for our industry. And we want to make sure that this significant impact is reduced and people think about the decisions that they make about the sustainability of paper. So, how you can help. This is critical for us. We want our members and non-members to send us greenwashing claims. We take this information. We have a portal on our website on the greenwashing page. It allows you to upload a screenshot, a document, tell us the name of the company, and then we take it from there. We'll do the research on who are the legal counsel, the executives of the organization. We write certified letters to them explaining the reasons why their greenwashing claims are not valid, and ask them to remove them from their marketing or their website. And so that's the process. And we're very persistent. We send multiple letters. If we don't get a response, we follow up, we look to see if they're making changes in their language, in their communications. And that's one of the values that Two Side adds, is that we are able to tackle these, whereas individual companies either don't have the resources or it's not kind of in their bandwidth to be able to combat. Some of these are their customers probably. And so we're a third-party organization. We can go talk to these companies and tell them, look, here's the information. A lot of times it's just an educational process. So it's just letting them know this is why this is greenwashing, and this is the information about the paper industry. And hopefully that gives them enough information to be able to change the way that they're communicating their messages. So we really look for your help to be able to log on and submit those greenwashing claims. So Jules, I'll turn it back over to you.
Awesome. So again, we believe that the way we move the needle is to get these claims changed. But we need our community, our members, to also share this information out and help us get that message loud and clear. So our research and materials serve that opportunity for you. We consolidate information from all different kinds of research organizations, that it's all validated, and we try to bring it all together for you in a variety of different ways so that you can use that in your communications, on your sustainability statements, reports, your marketing, get your sales reps to be able to utilize that as well. So we have 18,800 email subscribers as of today in 2024 that we're communicating with twice a month with our e-newsletter. We are present on a number of different places. We are currently fighting 31 greenwashing claims that are in process. We have 28 emails that we've sent out this year so far to our membership, and we continue to provide blog content, social content, a variety of different things that you can reuse in your marketing efforts. We have over 11,000 website visits this year. So we're getting people's attention and we're driving our message. 11,400 social media followers and growing. We have 726 social media posts that we've done this year so far, and hopefully you're utilizing those as a member, resharing those, putting your comments on those, and helping us build that message. And 220,000 social impressions. Again, our goal is not only to be intrinsic in our industry, but also reach that external consumer brands, those people that are critical to our circular economy in paper-based packaging and print. So to do our communications out, not only do we have, again, those electronic footprints, but we also have fact sheets that you have access to. And as members, you're able to utilize those, co-brand those, and get those out there to your communities. Infographics and video graphics that we are creating that you can utilize. Social media posts we send out once a month to our members. Make sure you're getting those so that you can use those organically in your channels. Presentations. If you need slides when you're out there talking to brands, talking to your customer base, talking to your internal stakeholders to let them understand how important paper is to your business and your community. Ask us for those. Research, as Jill mentioned, we're in the process of doing our research, our consumer research for 2025. Stay tuned for that. Ads, we have ads that can be placed in your publications that go out to your customers. We have partners in media that will be placing those. If you have local publications that are paper-based, maybe they would be willing to run an ad to elevate the fact that it's important that we still have access to things on paper. Ask us for that. Again, the greenwashing claims, we can give you case studies that are, this is what happened, this is how we did it, and then webinars like we're doing today. So everyone who on this call and in our community whose livelihood is connected to print and paper have a stake in making our sustainability case. So please be a cheerleader. That's what we ask. Okay. So what are we doing now? Jill and I have been managing Two Sides North America here for almost a year. And in doing so, we've really tried to add some energy and elevate ourselves into 2025. We're developing new infographics. We're out there speaking as much as we can. And if you're a member company and you want us to present to your sales organization, your customer base, please, by all means, invite us. We'd love to do that virtually, or if it makes sense, do it live. We have our survey coming in for 2025. We have new fact sheets that are coming. We have the bi-monthly blogs and content vlogging that we're doing. And we're relaunching our Love Paper campaign, which we're super duper excited about. And we're hoping that you'll engage in that as well. So let's talk a little bit about what Love Paper is. It's a direct-to-consumer campaign that you can help utilize that really talks directly to them, educating them about the great environmental story that we have to tell. And we're super excited, again, to get these tools out to you as soon as possible. You can see here's a couple of the ads. You'll be seeing these, starting to see them in some publications. We're launching it in November. We're retooling the website right now, updating the facts. updating some colors and some user experience so that you can go ahead and pay this forward as well. We've reignited some social media platforms that you'll be able to follow. Please do follow it, like it, share it. Again, shareable content. As a member, we want to give you as much as we can to help tell our story. And then member access to the logos and materials, both the Two Sides North America logo and the Love Paper logo. You'll be able to utilize those, put them on your own marketing materials. We'd love to see you add those and links out from your website. And one of the things that we're doing too is that we are going to start also marketing our members back out as far as supporting our efforts through our website. And so the circularity of us sharing that we're all trying to tell that sustainability story is only going to help tell the positive movement into 2025. Go next. Thanks. So what do our members have to say? Let's hear a little bit from a couple of those members.
From a value that Two Sides provides is it helps give us data and information and infographics that really help us and our sellers combat greenwashing. And that we know that, Two Sides is the only organization that has ever called out any company where they have potentially misstated or misrepresented facts that were, in error with regards to paper and print and the sustainability of both. And so that's where, again, Two Sides comes in. It helps provide some clarity, but against the backdrop of all this noise, there's still some basic facts about, paper and its sustainability, and that message needs to continue on.
We have other new members that are seeing the value and starting to utilize it. Troy Mailing Services, you can see they're very excited. We've met with their team. They're ready to utilize our tools, our resources, and help us to elevate our voices. And Holly with Production Management Group, PMG, again, another organization that saw the value and is engaging. So we're hoping that you as members or as potential members will get engaged and involved and help us to bring more tools forward into the future. Make sure that if you're not getting our blogs, not getting our podcasts, that you go and find those, subscribe to our emails, follow us on social media. The more we can build our community, the better our story goes. And feel free to contact us. I thank you for coming and being with us today. I see that we do have a few questions. Jill, do you see those?
I do, yeah. So a couple of questions about research, comparing to plastic, comparing to data centers and data farms. We don't have any formal research that we've done comparing those two segments, but we do continually look at information about, data centers is constantly changing and evolving. The way our technology is changing, what was the situation a year ago is very different than it is today. With the way AI is changing, it's having an impact on how data centers are growing. I would like to take both of these and see if we can do some kind of comparison. We do have access to industry and manufacturing data as far as their greenhouse gas emissions. Plastics, same thing. We can kind of look at the industry as a whole and do some comparisons of that. We don't have any formal reports that we've put together, but we'll continue to monitor those and figure out how we can develop information and present that to our members as well. So those are great questions. And it brings up the point is like, what kind of information are you looking for as a member? How can we help you communicate your story, your environmental story, the questions you're getting from your customers, and be able to help generate that information for you. So.
And one other thing I wanted to answer on a question as well. Someone asked if we lobbied, and the answer is no, we're not a lobbying organization, but we work directly with a number of groups that do go out and lobby on behalf of the industry, and we provide them with our research, with our information, connect them up if there's members that might be able to contribute to those efforts. And also, if you bring us concerns, we bring that out to those groups as well. So consider us really a conduit as we continue to build the community.
And how to become a member? You know, reach out to us at the email address on the screen, or to Jules and myself directly. We also have a membership page on our website with a form. You can take a look at the levels of membership and what the value add is. So if you're interested in learning more, we'd be happy to talk to you. We'd love to, you know, if you're currently a member, if you want to utilize our resources to talk to your team, we're more than happy to do that. So
yes. No, thank you, everyone. I think our time is up. Your time is very valuable. We aren't going anywhere. We're around. So please reach out to us, ping us. Like I said, follow us, like us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are, and keep the conversation coming. We will continue to develop the tools and resources that will be beneficial to you, but your voice matters to us. And thank you again for your interest, your membership, and your investment in Two Sides North America. Have an amazing day.
thank you.